All right, hey guys, we're back on Soak It Up. I'm Maria Zepeda, and today I'm here with Reigh Clare. She's a singer-songwriter, and she released her first song not too long ago, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Reigh Clare is also a senior in high school, is that right? And
Yes.
and so you're graduating this year. How do you feel about that?
I'm super excited. I cannot wait for like the next chapter of life. I'm so excited. I do plan on going to college, so
Okay.
I'm going to Louisiana Tech University, and I hate to call it my like backup career because obviously like I want to be a singer, like that's my dream, but I also like do also want to do this, so I'm hoping maybe somewhere along the lines I can incorporate both, but I want to do like social work and with like a concentration on going into hospitals and like being with kids before surgeries and doing like dog therapy for like kids at St. Jude and stuff. So that's what I'm going to college for. And then obviously, I still want to try to pursue singing and acting. So we'll just see whatever comes of that.
Yeah, of course. That's so incredible. And that's such an amazing thing to do. And you can definitely incorporate that kind of thing. Even, if you go into the singer-songwriter and actor industry, that's always something that you can kind of incorporate into that. And um, I think that's really cool. What got you into, wanting to work with children and stuff?
Well, honestly, since I was born, I have always like loved children and loved like just being around them. And then my very first job was actually at a daycare. And so just from that, my love for children has grown so much. And I am now currently working at a preschool and I'm with the like 6 months old to 1 year old group. And I absolutely love it so much. So just through working with them and just it's grown my love for it all.
That's so cool. I love, working with children and stuff too. It's just there's something about it because everything is just so new to them. And it's so amazing to be able to watch them, grow and learn and just everything is like amazing to them because it's all new. They're learning every day and it's incredible.
That's I think my favorite part about being with like the 6 months old to 1 year old group is because like literally you're getting to see them take their first steps, say some of their
Oh,
first words. You're getting to see them, start rolling over for the first time and like finding out what their feet are. Like and it's just so cool to like look at them and like the first time they do like that first belly laugh. It
oh
like
my goodness.
it's the cutest thing in the world because like they're laughing because of like their belly laugh that they're doing and then I'm laughing because it's just so cute watching them fully just like let go and it's such a good little age group to be with.
It is. It's incredible. That's a really great job to have.
Yes.
So, yeah, so Ray and I, we met actually last year. It's been like almost exactly a year, which is crazy. But yeah, we met in Nashville. We did some songwriting together. So we're going to talk a little about your song, Have You Here. So what was kind of the inspiration? Like what started that song?
Well, honestly, it's just a love story. That's really what that song is about. It's a love story, and one of the lyrics in it is, it was divine intervention. Don't even mention how lucky I am to have you here. And it's just that it's just a tale of a love story of people who just came together through this divine intervention, which I look as like God putting two people together, putting two soulmates together, and then they're just so lucky to have each other beside each other because of that divine intervention. They have so much love for each other, and so yeah, it's just a great little love story between two people.
I love that. That's so cool. And it's such a sweet song. I really like it. I was listening to it just the other day. But I kind of want to go through like the whole process of how, because I know there are so many people who are so interested in songwriting, but they're not really sure where to begin or how to go through that process. So I kind of want to go through just like the whole process of like how it goes when you're writing a song. So, um, how did you initially decide, that's what you wanted the song to be about, like an innocent and beautiful love story?
Well, with this song in particular, we actually wrote it in Nashville where me and you met.
Hmm.
And was just sitting down and just listening to the little backing track that they have and just thinking about, what you want to write about. What do you want to make this what do you like this story about? And so, you think of the story and then that just kind of just flows into a song.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think the backtrack, for me at least, it kind of inspires what you want it to be about because you have all these kind of
For sure.
yeah, these like ideas in your head, like, oh, I could do a song about this or like this, but it just depends on like what you end up having as your track, as your musical, background.
Mhm.
And it kind of just leads the song from there. You get an idea and it just kind of flows like from there, I think. But
Oh, 100%.
yeah, so how did you get like did you start like with the chorus or did you start with like a little bit of a verse or did you start with, like you had a melody in your mind or something like that?
Honestly, I can't remember. I want to say we started with the melody because it wasn't just me in the room writing it. It was me and Stefan Benz, which you know from
Yeah.
meeting, and then I think there was two other people in the room. I don't really know. That was kind of a
Yeah, I
crazy group.
think there were. And I remember because I wasn't in that room with you guys. So unfortunately
I
I didn't
remember
really work
you
on.
coming down
Yep.
stairs, but I don't remember who else was in the room.
Yeah. I remember going down there and I had seen like the very beginning part and then I went up and started working on some other songs, which hopefully will be coming soon, guys. And then I came back down and you guys had like almost finished it. I was like, wow, this song really just kind of took off. Like it happened very quickly and I think that's really beautiful when that happens when you're writing. It just kind of flows. That's when you know like
Mhm.
this is good. Like this is something that's going to be really amazing, which is really cool. Do you ever or did you ever write like alone, maybe in your room or whatever, when you're just by yourself? Do you ever get like little ideas or
All the time. Like
all
I
the
have a notebook filled with like many different, and I'm horrible about, I don't know if you do the same thing, but like whenever you're like writing a song or whatever, you get like this split second idea and you maybe write like a verse and a chorus and then you just like stop. Like there's no more
No
creativity
more. That's
coming
like
out.
writer's block hits and you're like,
Yes.
"No." That's what I think is so special about when you're writing in a group setting.
Hmm.
Like you wrote this song in a group setting because when you hit that like it kind of helps the flow to keep going because you have more people to kind of
Yes.
bounce off of and it really helps the writing to just keep going as opposed to when you're by yourself. It
Hmm.
can be really very beautiful, but I think it's just much more difficult because it's just you. It's just your thoughts, which I think is very
Yes.
beautiful because that can give a very rawness to whatever you're writing,
Hmm.
which I
I
think,
think, yeah, I think like all of my songs that I've written like all by myself are very 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 personal to me, and I'm
mhm,
hoping one day maybe I can get with like a group of people or like inspiration will hit me to finish the song or whatever, but I think that group setting does help to kind of like relay the ideas, and then
mhm.
also having the backing track to be able to kind of put that melody to it and stuff to also kind of keep it flowing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I really like that. I think there are definitely great things to both writing by yourself or
Hmm.
writing in a group setting. I think you get a different outcome kind of. I think when you're by yourself, you are able to be much more raw and open with
Hmm.
yourself and your feelings, which I think is so cool. But hopefully we'll get to hear some of those songs of yours someday too.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Um, so how do you think like in your own words, what would you say the experience is when you're writing like in a group setting as opposed to when you're by yourself? Would you kind of agree with what I said?
Oh, 1000%. I think, just having that like alone time to really just like reflect. And then like I know with me, whenever like I start to like write a song about myself, I think of like, okay, what story do I want to tell with this song?
Hmm.
Like, do I want to talk about like this part of my childhood? Or do I want to part like say like, oh, we went to, maybe it was something as silly as like we went to Pettigee Mountain one summer and I want to write about it? Or
Yeah.
do I want it to be more serious? Like, this is whenever I came to this realization, so it
Hmm.
just really starts with that. Like, what do I want this story to be about? Because that's what songwriting is, it's telling a story. And so then you just go from there. And being alone, you're able to really get down to like the nitty gritty of like, okay,
For sure.
say
Yeah.
I'm talking about that Pettigee Mountain trip, and say, I don't know, maybe I like tripped and scraped my knee. Well, maybe that knee scrape like made me realize something like deep down emotional, like I'm not a person that likes pain or whatever. You can really like
Yeah.
get like down into that rather than like in a group setting. That group wasn't there at Pettigee Mountain with you, so you can't
Yeah.
really like they can't understand really what was going on. And
Hmm.
so I know one song I wasn't there the that I think it was like the day or that night or whatever. Y'all wrote that song about whenever y'all went out on the town, like y'all bought the boots and stuff like that at
Mhm.
in Nashville.
Yeah,
And I remember it was the first day that I showed up. Y'all were all like writing a song about that. And I remember like it was so crazy because you were able to see like this shared experience that you all had and you were all like writing a song about it and stuff. And so I think that's a really good thing with a group setting is whenever you do have a shared experience, you can
yeah,
all bounce ideas about like, oh, well this thing happened and maybe this person over there didn't see that and just going through the whole story.
yeah. That is really cool. I totally I forgot about that one. But that was exactly what you said. If it's not a shared experience, it's a lot harder to write a song about that if you're in a group setting. But it's great when you have that group setting and all of them have, they were all there, which was really cool. And I think that's also what's really cool about when we go out and do these, songwriting things in these groups, is we'll go out and we'll do other things too. We're not just stuck in the place, just songwriting, because you have to go out and you have to find the inspiration and then you come back and you put it
Mhm.
into a song.
How did y'all start with that song? Like, was it like y'all got home that night and y'all just like jumped into writing it, or?
I yeah, I mean, the way that we kind of started writing, so we would get together like groups, we'd be like, okay, we're gonna have, you three, you're gonna start writing on a song. Here's a,
Mhm.
we'd go through different tracks or melodies or whatever that we liked. We'd pick one, as a group, like, oh, this one um is really cool for this because like we said earlier, it's that melody really helps with deciding what the song, what's gonna drive the song and what it's gonna be about. So as we were just going through the tracks, we found one that kind of inspired that and that just kind of started. Um, so that's why I really love writing when you have a track because I think it really brings the song, like it really carries it and it really gives you all those ideas, which is really, really cool. But yeah, it was so great in Nashville and I was so glad that you were there and I'm so glad that we were getting to record this. But
Yes, Nashville was so much fun. Like by far, that was like the very first like songwriting thing that I've like ever done, and so I was a little nervous, but it was so nice. Like y'all were so like welcoming and stuff, and it just the atmosphere made it so easy to just like. I mean, we were literally from the time we woke up to the time we went to sleep, we were writing songs.
and that
So
that is so amazing. Like that experience was so cool. And I had, yeah, me too. I had never really done much group setting writing. Like I usually did all my writing by myself in my room or a lot of the time while I'm driving, I'll just get like an inspiration. So I'll like voice notes it. I'm like, I gotta get this like right
yes.
now.
Or like in the shower, it'll like hit me, and I'm like,
Yes.
ah.
I don't know why it happens in like the weirdest places, but you're like, oh, I gotta get my voice notes. Like, I gotta put this on right now before I forget. But yeah, so it was like one of my first times doing like group setting, and it was just so amazing getting to be with people who are like-minded like that and getting to share your ideas from literally morning till night, I think it was really incredible. But
That's awesome.
yeah, I hear that you're getting ready, hopefully, to release more songs soon. Do you have any dates, or is there anything about any of the songs that you can share with us? Any like sneak peeks?
Not any dates yet,
Okay.
but there's I have a lot of songs that I want to release, and so right now it's just kind of like picking which one to go next. But a lot of them are about the love story and about the like sweet little country girl meeting the sweet little country boy. Just that cute little love story. So they kind of go hand in hand with "Have You Here" very well,
Oh,
but
those songs are so sweet. I love those.
yes. Yes, and they're so fun to write too because you can like I always like picture myself in the story, and so there's some fun. They're so fun to like write and stuff because you're able to be like, oh yeah, we went to like the beach or whatever,
Yeah.
cute
And
little stuff like that.
you're literally writing a story. Like you're writing a story in a song.
Hmm.
Which is really cool. Like I think there are different ways to go about writing a song. Like a lot of people take from their personal experiences. A lot of people make a story or they'll make a story from their personal experiences or they'll take like one moment and just that one moment can be a whole song because there's
Hmm.
so much in that one moment. But I love it when you literally just make a story because you can just use your imagination and take it from there, and it can be so beautiful when you do it like that.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for, imagination, because
Yeah.
you're able to just like I said, for me, I'm just able to like imagine myself in the story, and that also kind of helps with like the songwriting process because
Mhm.
whenever you are able to like imagine yourself in the story, you're able to be like, oh, and next we went to go buy some boots, or next we went to like go get ice cream and stuff, and so you're able to really nitpick and put in what you want to put in that you would have in your little love story that we all dream about.
Yeah, that is so amazing. Um, so I know you've been doing like some live performances lately. How has that been?
Very scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Like my like first one, I was like, "Ooh, that's a little scary," but it's also so much fun. And like I like grew up doing theater and like always like love theater, love to be on stage and
Yeah.
stuff. So like it comes easy to me, but also like I do definitely get nervous, and I was always told that nerves means you care. So I think nervous is good, but it's different whenever you're up there singing someone else's song versus singing your own song
For sure.
because like Enoch's I went and sang at. It's a little restaurant, bar and grill type thing here in Monroe, where I live close to Monroe. So I went and sang there, and I sang my very my I cannot think of the word. Yes, Have You Here? That's the name of it. Blamed on my own song.
That
but
happens.
yeah, I sang Have You Here. Like I'm pretty sure that was only like maybe the third time I'd ever sang it live before. And
Wow.
this was like a different atmosphere
Mhm.
than like what I'm normally used to singing in. So
Yeah.
it was very scary, but it I learned a lot for sure from that experience, and also, just being able to share my song and that little love story that we were talking about, with everyone. And we got little claps from the crowd, and they were a really good crowd, honestly. Like they were so into it and stuff, and so it was really nice. Also having that feedback back, like oh, like it kind of gives you hope, in a way of like
Mhm.
I can actually do this. Like this is something that people enjoy me being up here performing my own stuff, not like someone else's stuff, and so
Yeah.
it gives me hope of like this is something that I can do.
Yeah, I love that. I think, yeah, having the crowd there to kind of give you and it that, that feedback, it does definitely give you like hope, like you said. Like, yeah, it just feels so beautiful. And you get up there and you're so nervous and that means you care, but
Mhm.
by the end, I think it feels so incredible.
And I'm
So,
sure you felt that way too, because I saw on Instagram where you sang in like Times Square, which is
yeah,
crazy.
I know.
But I'm sure you definitely felt that way too. What was that like singing your song live in Times Square?
For sure, I was super nervous. We got there, I think it was the night before. Or the day before, I had like an overnight flight, which was crazy. And so I'm actually from Cincinnati, but it was funny because I came from California and then I had a layover in my
Mhm.
city and then I went to New York. But no, getting up there and performing, like you said, you get up there and yeah, you're nervous, but once you start performing, I think once you start performing, that's kind of when the nerves kind of die down and you're like, oh, this is incredible. Like, I'm performing in front of all these people and they're giving this amazing feedback, and you see that they are really very interested in that. And then when you come down, you get to talk to them and they get to tell you, oh, that your song was so good, or I love this about it. And you get to see like what exactly the audience thinks about it, and you get to
Mhm.
actually talk to them, which I think is so incredible and very different from when you're just, recording in a studio. Because in a studio, it's, just you, your producer, maybe a couple writers. Um, but then when you go out and you actually perform, you get to do it in front of all these people, and it's nerve-wracking and it's scary. But I think that's just part of the whole experience.
Yes. And that feedback also helps because you know what the people like. And,
Hmm.
as performers, we are supposed to be performing for the people,
Yeah.
entertaining. And you want to give them something that they're going to like. So that feedback definitely helps.
Yeah, it does for sure. And yeah, you can kind of see like what your next song, because you want to give them things that they will enjoy and that they will love. So you get to see like, oh, well, maybe I should try to incorporate a little bit of that into like something else I do, or like, things like
Hmm.
that, which I think is really cool. But this past year, I think, has been huge for you. You released your first song, you've performed live several times, and I think, was it your first time visiting California last summer?
Yes. Like this, like literally this time last year was like my very first time ever like going to, I don't know, is that the East Never Eat Sour
The West
the
Coast.
West Coast, yes.
Mhm.
I get them too confused.
That's okay.
But I gotta do my little never eat sour worms thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the West Coast. Like I've never been over to the West Coast. And so it was just so like I, undescribable, honestly. Like it was just so cool and so just my first time being on a plane. Like it was
Oh,
so incredible and just so like and honestly, people were like telling me about like how bad California is, but I did not have that experience at all. I absolutely like love it. I love California so much, and just
mhm.
the weather there is top notch.
Oh, it's
But
beautiful.
it's
It's so beautiful.
it's freaking amazing.
Mhm.
But and then just everything. First time in the studio, that was insane.
So it's been
Like
a huge year.
oh
That's
my gosh,
incredible.
crazy.
Yeah, the West Coast is definitely it's so beautiful. I know you were working, in the studio, you were writing your songs, getting all that done, but did you, get to explore anything at all?
Yes, actually, I'm very grateful that I did because that's one thing like I was really wanting to do was explore because never been there before.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we went to like the beach and oh my gosh, California beaches are on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
Like like they're insane. We saw the sunset on the beach
Oh,
and
it's so pretty.
it was so pretty. Like I look back at pictures and I'm like, just let me teleport back there because it
I
was so
know.
freaking gorgeous. But and then we went. Obviously, you have to go down Hollywood Boulevard if you're
Oh
in
yeah.
the California LA area. So we went down and saw all the stars, and then what else did we do? We did a lot of stuff. It was
That's
like
so
we went
cool.
to Laguna Beach and we went and saw like all the little shops and stuff they have around there.
Oh,
And so it was incredible getting to see
yeah.
everything. Went to Santa Monica Pier, like all of the top notch. The only thing I haven't done is seen the San Francisco Bridge, but that's kind of far out from
Yeah, that's like
LA, so
I think that's like 4 hours north, so
mhm.
I have not
that
seen that either.
that is another thing that like I didn't realize how big California was.
Oh, it's
Like,
it's big.
it's big.
Yeah. I would love to see that. Yeah, I would love to see the bridge, but I've never been that far north. I think I've been like just barely north of LA, I think. I don't think
Hmm.
I've been any further north than that, but it is so beautiful. The beaches out there, they're so different because here, on the East Coast, people can say, like, yeah, I've been to the beach, I've been to the East Coast, but when you go to the West Coast, it's a completely different experience. The beaches
Hmm.
are so different, and I think they're both beautiful in their own ways. Like I've been to beaches on the East Coast and I've been to the West Coast as well, and they're different. The experience is completely different, but I think it's beautiful, in both places. But yeah,
And
I
sorry, I didn't mean to
no, no,
interrupt
you're
you.
okay. Go on, go
But
on.
I was gonna say, I don't think like I've ever seen a beach that clean too, because yeah, I live in Louisiana, so my beaches are like very like it's the Gulf of Mexico, or I guess the Gulf of America now, but it's like very like it's it's what you would expect a hurricane to come through and look like. Like
Oh
it's very
wow.
swampy and and don't get me wrong, like they can be
Yeah.
very beautiful, but it's like nothing in comparison to what California is.
Yeah, very different. But yeah, I've been to some beaches in Florida and they're so pretty. But yeah, I've been to Santa Monica as well. I think that's a really cool, just walking down the pier and you see
Mhm.
Santa Monica in so many movies, like the pier, like so I think that's so cool just getting to see like, oh, this is where they filmed like this movie or that movie. There's so many that have filmed there. And then, the walk with all the stars that
Mhm.
on Hollywood Boulevard that is
Mhm.
it's so fun, to get to like you walk by and you're like reading all the stars, like, oh, there's that one or there's this one. Did you walk like in front of the Chinese theater or did you go like around that part?
I honestly don't remember. I'm pretty sure we like it. It's I didn't realize how many stars were there. Like it's like
Oh,
blocks and blocks and blocks. I did not realize that. And so I remember me and my mama, we just like kept walking and walking and walking because we were like, we're gonna get to the end of this, and then we were like, can we go back to the car and maybe
Yeah.
like drive because it's a lot. Like it's I did not realize how much it was, but I know we went by like three different theaters. I don't know which ones they were though.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
I might have. I'm not sure.
So the
If
Chinese
not, then
theater,
I probably drove past it.
probably. It's kind of like the center of everything. That's kind of like where most of the people are, and then the stars kind of go out from there. But the Chinese theater, that's the one, it has like all the handprints and stuff. So,
Oh, yes.
yeah, and
Yes, I
like the
did go.
names.
Yeah, we drove past that one and I was like, "Mama, what is that?" Cuz it was I didn't expect like all the handprints and
Yeah.
stuff. It was pretty cool.
It is
But
pretty cool. It's yeah, there's a lot to do out in California, and it's so pretty. I definitely love going to the beaches. I miss the beach. I need to go back soon, soon. We'll do some more
yes.
recording and work on some more music and hopefully
And
release
go to
some
the beach.
soon. And go to the beach. Yes, always have to fit that in. We should go right at the beach. I think that's a good idea.
Yes. Did
But
you ever go to the Spectrum over there in Irvine?
I did not, but you know what? I was out there for like a few months and I literally passed it every day, but I don't think I ever went.
It is you next time you go out there you have to go because it is like number one it's crazy big, but it's so nice too and it has pretty much any shop you can ever think of. It's nice.
Wow. Yeah, I remember passing it and every day. I'm like, I should probably go, but I gotta get somewhere. I always gotta get somewhere. So I'm like, maybe next time I need to leave early and like stop there for a while or just
Yes.
make like a whole day because it looks huge.
Oh, I'm pretty sure been to California twice now and I haven't even touched like the whole thing yet. It's
Wow.
insane.
That's so cool though. I love, just how big everything is out there. It's
Hmm.
really cool. But I heard, changing the subject a little, that you're going on a mission trip this summer.
Yes, I'm so excited. Like I said, like cannot even put it into words how excited I am.
That is so
I get to
cool.
go to Alaska, which is like bucket list. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, I want to go to
But
Alaska so bad.
yes, I'm so excited. They said it's not cold, like really cold there in the summer, so I'm kind of excited about that because I don't do good in cold. But um, but yeah, it's through Graceworks Alaska, and it's just I'm really excited. They were telling me all about it, and Alaska is actually one of the most like unreached United States territories for
Wow.
like Christians going up there and stuff. They have the least amount of churches, and probably like the most amount of depression too, because of the fact that like it's so much just like darkness, light, like physically,
Yeah, it's just
darkness, light,
that's
and
just so draining. Yeah.
yes, and so I'm really excited. This is my very first mission trip that I get to go
Oh,
on,
that's
but
awesome.
they told me that it's gonna be lots of like dealing with kids and getting like going to their playgrounds and stuff. So
So
I'm so
cool. Yeah, that's so
and
cool.
I will also get to lead the worship there too, like they do every single night. So I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Is there anything like in particular that you're very excited? Of course, spreading the word of God and that I love that so much. But other than that, is there anything in particular that you're super excited about? Just maybe just, like you said, Alaska. I've always wanted to visit there as well.
No, honestly, like I've never been like obviously I've never been to Alaska, but I'm excited to just see Alaska, and I'm very excited because we do have like I think maybe one or two like that they call like down days where like we can clean and like wash our clothes and whatnot, and so he said like during those days you can like catch a Uber and like just go see Alaska if you want to. So
Oh
I'm
wow.
excited that, I get the chance to spread the word of God while also like getting to explore and getting to see Alaska because it's like you can't go to Alaska without seeing Alaska.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm so excited for you. I love that. And spreading the word of God, that's amazing. Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Ooh, I have so many.
Me too. It's a hard
um,
question.
I would say I think my like I narrowed it down to like two for sure, And the first one is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That's like it's oh, that's such a good verse.
It
And
is.
then my other one is Genesis 50:20. For you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. What is now being done, the saving of many lives.
Oh,
So
that's
that had like speaks
beautiful.
to my like full like testimony so much
Oh
because
my gosh,
of
yeah.
what I've been through and stuff. I'm not gonna get into that, but just what I've been through and just the many like trials that I've been through. I'm able to look back and see number one, like what John 3:16, what Jeremiah 29:11 says. Like He does have a plan, and that plan is for good. I'm able to see His plan through it all, and I'm also to see like me being able to share my story with people and just being able to like share my testimony with them, and that ends up, for some people it brings them deeper into their faith, and for others it, might be the first time they're ever hearing the word. And I'm
Oh,
super excited to get to go to Alaska because I am going to get to share my story, and I am going to get to, be like, hey, you're not alone, like other people have gone through this too. And so I'm excited.
oh, I'm so excited for you. That's incredible. I love that so much, and I'm glad you got to share a little bit of that here. I think it's so important to, share that kind of stuff, and that verse is so good. I have, on my Bible app on my phone, I have all these verses saved, and I have them saved into
Mm-hmm.
different categories, and they're like different verses for when I'm feeling different things, like in verses to inspire you, or in verses to encourage you, or just verses to share with others. And whenever I read, I actually send. Usually, because there's so many good verses, I usually come across like two or three good verses that I'll just send out to a whole bunch of my contact list because I'm like, why not? Why not share that little bit of positivity or like that little bit? Maybe they need that right now. Maybe that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
really help them today. But that's so cool. I'm so excited for you, and I really hope that we can get on here sometime, maybe after you release your next song, and we can talk about that one. But yeah, we're out of time today. So bye, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining and listening. And we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if there are any questions that you have for us, maybe we can answer them next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. When you think you know someone, but you never really had a clue. All the things you do for love.